Heya, this is Sydney, and I am here to talk us through Monday, May 5th, 2025. It is the Moon's Day, and Moon starts out in creative Leo. Really early in the morning, we have some pretty nice aspects from that moon: creative, healing, sensitive, but not necessarily in a bad way. But at 6:03 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we do have the moon squaring Uranus and Taurus, so this can be some sort of destabilization, emotional destabilization and shock. This can be kind of a sudden and rude awareness about how we're doing on the inside. Certainly, this can just be emotional upset. Not really a great way to wake up, and here we are. Keeping in mind, too, that Mercury is slowly creeping up on Chiron, which gives us, from looking at this aspect, we need to be very careful about how we are speaking to others and how we are speaking to ourselves, especially around sensitive topics and things that are hurting us or things that we know are hurting other people. There is a call here to be a little bit more, maybe try to do the Libra side of things, which is find some sort of balance, harmony, kind of try to be a bit smooth. Whereas Aries is more like daggers, and Mercury in Aries really is good at like kind of like shooting out the words without thinking about how it pulled that trigger. Fun. At 6:42 a.m., we do get the moon biquintile of the Venus in Aries. I like this biquintile. It is creative. It is feeling like you're wanting to engage in some sort of beautification. There can be some stuff around value, certainly around making things pretty in your own way. I do think because Venus is in Aries, it isn't going to be as congenial, perhaps, as it could be, and perhaps lacking a bit of the social graces that we need. It's a reminder that Venus being in Aries makes us kind of self focused, and the shadow side of that is selfishness, like a lot of selfishness. And so, if we remember that even though what we value is important and we need to be very aware of those things and how we're going to go and get those things, I think there is a call here to remind ourselves that we're in a world with a whole bunch of other people that are also experiencing some aspect of this. And so we need to find a way to be a bit more uh, harmonious, partnering, reaching across the aisle to achieve our goals. Yeah. We get probably the only big aspect of the day, 9:46 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we get Mercury in Aries sextile Jupiter and Gemini. This is a lot of ideas. This is a lot of ideas and rapid fire. This is and can be, things around our judicial system, information about immigration. This can certainly be so many thoughts and ideas and words coming at one time because it's a sextile, it's friendly. And so this is social, right? This is being able to have like a really rapid exchange with other people that could feel pretty great. But there is always a caution with Jupiter being in its detriment in Gemini that not everything that is said during this period of time is really to be taken entirely seriously. Um, there could be a lot of truths and untruths, and it is our goal to be able to discern what those things are, hopefully, right? And so there's also a caution here to not overspeak your promises and your claims, and to kind of try to rein in the boisterousness, or the I'm right and you're wrongness, I think is a part of this as well. But it is a good time to have a meeting, right? A meeting where you have to exchange information and ideas because it's just going to be flowing from here to there. At 12:39 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the moon is going to enter Virgo. The moon in Virgo is a worried moon. can be a moon that is very analytical, very, very critical, tends to be a little bit more very self critical of itself. So, one of the things that we know about the Virgo archetype is that when it's really critical on the outside towards, da 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 da, you're like this or that person's like that. I can't believe they wore that, yada yada yada, right? Um, that means that there's a lot going on inside. They're also turning that in on themselves. There could also be something here where, like, whatever information was kind of expressed earlier in the day, and we know because Mercury is near Chiron, some things are hurting right now, right? Now the moon in Virgo is trying to fix things, right? It is worried about all of the things on its list that it's trying to do. Moon in Virgo is a great time to create a to-do list, a methodical to-do list, picking out the most important things that you can do in your day and trying your best to get those things done. In the evening, or actually early afternoon to the evening, we get the moon going on a quincunx alley with Neptune at 3:03, 6:19 p.m. with Venus, and then at 8:04 p.m. with retrograde Pluto. So these are adjustments that the moon in Virgo is needing to do around its vision, around value, around relationship, around the ways that maybe she wanted to go and do things on her own or take initiative in the matters of love, finances, heart, creativity, beauty, luxuriating, that sort of thing, and maybe trying to make some adjustments around that. That quincunx to Pluto really tells me that there's going to be some sort of psychological uh, frustration here, and a lot of anxiety. The quincunxes can bring a lot of anxiety feelings, and with the moon being in Virgo, the tendency to kind of turn it in on ourselves and become this like internal churning factory is real high. So try to be practical around the things that you need to make adjustments about. Try not to be so self-blaming and self-critical. Really, really try to practice good moments of forgiveness and compassion for yourself and for others. And then at 9 p.m., we get that moon quintile Jupiter in Gemini, which can be kind of a balm because Jupiter is a benefic, right? But there's a lot of, I think, processing around the ideas that the moon in Virgo is trying to kind of deal with here and emotionally internalize about itself that becomes easy at this moment. So maybe the adjustments that were made were just enough for the moon in Virgo to kind of get a little bit more grounded, which would be fantastic, or grounded in the ideas and the way that she's thinking about how she's feeling. All right. Well, that is Monday, and I will see you tomorrow to talk about tomorrow. Okay, take care.